So in this video, I want to talk about one specific type of link building outreach that we're going to do to get more backlinks and ultimately traffic to our blog and website. And this type of link building outreach we're calling mention outreach. In your blog post that you're writing, you should always be linking out to other blogs and websites. And these external links are important. In another video of ours, we talked about how when you write your blog posts for promotion, you should have external links to other blogs and websites. These external links are the basis of this outreach strategy that we're calling mention outreach. And for basically the summary of it is, for every other blog or website that you mention with a link to them in your post, you're going to want to reach out to them. Hypothetically, other blogs or articles that get a mention in your article with a backlink should be happy to hear that you mention them fondly, and hopefully they will share your article with their audience and possibly link to you as well. So let's now talk about the different kind of components that you're going to need for this. The main thing is going to be a spreadsheet. So once you've written your amazing blog post, take stock of all of your external links in your blog post in a spreadsheet. This is very important. You can also download a template spreadsheet that we've crafted for you with all the fields for things like contact name, email address, and things like that that you can get at postaga.com/DL. We're going to mention it in a later slide, but this is just an example of what a few fields in the spreadsheet looks like, just so you can get an idea. So what you're going to do, you're going to add to your spreadsheet the list of all the websites that you link to, each website on its own line. Problem is, now we have to figure out what the contact people's email addresses are. And for that, we're going to use a tool called hunter.io. We're going to use that tool to find their contact info and then add them to the spreadsheet. One pro tip: with your external links, you're going to have better luck if you have a blog post or something specific like that you could link to that has an author of a post rather than some company where you don't have a contact person to reach out to specifically. So having a specific person in mind is key. So for that post, also I want to mention, ideally you don't want to be reaching out to a guest poster, someone who doesn't have access to the back end of the website that you're linking to, because guest posters typically don't have administrative access to the websites that they are working on necessarily. And so if you want to get a link from that website, they won't be able to do anything for you. So ideally you're getting a link, you're linking to a blog post where the author works for the company, or you're linking to the company's website and you can reach out to someone specifically that works for the company so they can ideally get a link to your website from their site. So if you haven't seen any of the other videos that we've done in this series on link building outreach, very quickly, hunter.io is this tool that we're going to be using. It is an amazing tool for figuring out people's email addresses related to a website. You just plug in a domain and hunter.io will shoot back any email addresses and contact information that they have for people at that website. It's the database that basically scours the entire internet and finds email addresses at specific domains. And even if they don't have the specific person that you are looking for at the website, they might have the construction format of email addresses for a website, so you can kind of guess what the person's email address would be if you know who you're reaching out to. So like in this example we have here, we may know Sam at Offsprout's email address, but we don't know Andy at Offsprout's email address. But given that Hunter is giving us this information and we know how Sam's email is formed, we can probably figure out how Andy's email address is formed too. So what we're going to do once we have this ultimately is we're going to reach out to these specific people at this website to reach out to them and seeing if they'd be willing to promote your article. You may not necessarily get a backlink to your website from them, but they may share your article on social media accounts. And this could be also the start of a good working relationship moving forward, as it puts you on this company's radar. I've used mention outreach before to start a dialogue with other blogs where we wanted to kind of start working with them and build a relationship. And it had enabled us to do things like guest posting and swap posts that had been very beneficial for us as well. So there are a couple of different benefits that you can get from this type of outreach, and I'd absolutely recommend it. In terms of coming up with what kind of email to send them, we have a tool for you here. You can download our email template at postaga.com/DL. We also have the spreadsheet template available, so you can get that too. And so once you download that, let's kind of talk now about what we're trying to do with our outreach emails. Really, we're trying to do a few different things. And it's important to be mindful of what you're trying to get out of this outreach. First, you ideally want a backlink. But alternatively, you will want to try and build a relationship with this person at this blog that you're reaching out to, and possibly maybe get a guest post opportunity. And as a tertiary goal, getting them to share your contact with their networks, like on social media, that would also be a plus. It wouldn't be as valuable as a backlink necessarily, but it's not bad either. And let's take a look at our email template. This is one email template that we've crafted that we've had success with. And I want to kind of go through each aspect of the email to show you why we're saying what we're saying in our email. So first we have the introduction, which we have in a very humanizing sort of way to show that we're not a robot. We have to have specifics here to demonstrate that we know this website and know this blog. So it doesn't just seem like we're going rapid fire reaching out to every single website that we can find or that we could scrape and then reach out to them trying to get a link. We're demonstrating that we know this website specifically, we know what their brand is about, we know their content, and that makes it more likely that the person that we're reaching out to will respond in kind and actually read our email. Then further down, we're saying how we know them, how we found them, so that they know where we're coming from. And then there's the ask. And because building this relationship would be awesome, we might want to collaborate with them in the future and also get a backlink via a guest post, we have an ask, hey, can we work together? And then as the closing, let me know what you think, put it on them and try and keep this conversation going. And if you don't hear back from this initial email, I always follow up with an email a day or two later saying, hey, just wanted to follow up and see if you had any thoughts on my last email. And below that email, I'll have the full text of the first email. I don't start creating a new email where it's basically all the same contents as the first email. I found it's more effective to have a simple follow-up email, and the email below it kind of nested shows you the original history of the email and what was in it before, rather than just kind of starting from scratch all over again. So that is basically the email template and what we're going to do for outreach and follow up to try and get on their radar. One other thing I want to say that I have found effective for this type of outreach in particular is LinkedIn. If you can, look for your contact person on LinkedIn and try and reach out to them as part of your follow-up as well. It's a unique, different way than an unsolicited email, and it comes from you, a person from your LinkedIn account. So it's more real, it's more one-to-one than an unsolicited email, and I've had success with that in particular as well. So now I kind of want to just recap all of this. All the steps to our mention link building outreach. So first, we're going to find all the external links in your article that you've written. We're going to add them to your spreadsheet. Then we're going to use hunter.io as our research tool to find the contact information, the email addresses for the people we want to reach out to. And then we use our handy email template and we reach out to them, trying to initiate this contact and build a relationship and ultimately get a backlink from them. And this is Mention Link Building Outreach. In other videos that we have, we're going to talk about other methods of link building outreach. We're talking about Skyscraper method, we're talking about link roundups, we're talking about related content, and we're also talking even more details about things like emails and follow-up and social media as well. So please check out those videos also to really give you the full picture of everything that you need to know about link building and outreach. And always, if you haven't yet, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, check out our other videos on link building outreach, share, and check out our websites at postaga.com and offsprout.com.